You get stale.
Popcorn?
Popcorn.
Popcorn.
You forget about things like stale.
Popcorn.
Popcorn, stale popcorn.
Popcorn. Pop.
This is the
Stale popcorn.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Stale Popcorn Podcast. I'm your host, Steven, and with me as always is my co-host, Christopher. Chris, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm a-doing well. How are you doing, my friend?
Good. I got some housekeeping items, if you'll indulge me. Right off the bat, there's timestamps below. We'll be talking some stuff and things, Severance and other news. Chris, I got a huge news that I got to share with everyone.
All right, let's hear it.
We have a birthday boy in the midst. That's right.
Whose birthday?
Day of recording, it is Chris's birthday, everybody. Happy birthday, Christopher.
Well,
and
thank you.
I got a little surprise for you.
Oh, let's hear it.
I had a close personal friend record something for you. He was more than happy to do it. This is my gift to you, so we'll roll the clip here.
Hey, Chris, it's me, your favorite actor, Keanu Reeves, a.k.a. John Wick, a.k.a. Neo from The Matrix. People think we used wires on that movie, but we didn't use shit, man. We didn't use shit. You know, I was also in The Lake House with Sandra Bullock, but nobody wants to ask me about that movie, even though there was a night I ate 47 pizza rolls in one sitting. Anyway, your friend Steven reached out to me and told me it's your birthday. So happy birthday, sport. Hope your day is as cool as my real-life stunts from the John Wick franchise. Remember when I fell down 222 steps in John Wick 4? Anyway, happy birthday, and be sure to see my new movie, Sonic 3, in theaters now. All right, are you going to Venmo me now, or...?
Wow, you got him, huh?
I got him.
You go way back with the guy?
Way
or
back
how'd you
with
do
the
this?
guy. Really, just real down-to-earth guy. More than willing to help us out here, and just a personal happy birthday to you. So happy birthday, Chris.
Wow.
And,
that
make
means
sure
a
everyone
lot.
sound off in the comments, yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised.
Well, Chris, you got news for us?
I got one piece of news. Jake Gyllenhaal will officially star in a supernatural, romantic thriller directed by M. Night Shyamalan. The film is based on an original story co-created by Shyamalan and novelist Nicholas Sparks. I'm curious.
This sounds made up, right? Nicholas
I don't know,
Sparks
it
of
says
the
it there.
Notebook fame.
Yeah.
Letters to John or whatever
Last
fame.
Ride.
Yeah.
And Dear John. And it's not the collab I expected, but I'm curious to see how this goes.
Yeah, I love all of those things separately, but I don't know how well they'll work together.
I mean, we talked about The Village. That's one of the most romantic movies of all time.
Oh,
You just got to channel back that.
Yeah.
Throw in Jake. Who do you think the co-star should be?
I think they will break new grounds and have Danny DeVito.
Oh, all right.
That would be the telling of a real writer. If you can really make a successful love story with Jake and Danny, it's not impossible. It's a bold strategy.
I'm guessing he'll probably throw one of his daughters in there, and maybe she was like, I got a crush on this Jake guy. And he's like, hey, say no more. I'll make it happen here.
Yeah. Glenn's Corner, where I'm sitting in the corner looking at nothing but a picture of Glenn.
Glenn Powell says the opportunity in The Dark Knight Rises came when not much was going on in his life. Quote, Nolan recently said, he's very proud that he plucked me early. I'm just very grateful that he took a shot.
We're grateful too. I always forget he's in that. He's in for just a couple minutes for you. For those who don't know, he's in the stock market scene and Bane throws his head against the table. It's just a very quick little cameo almost. I wonder if he'll make an appearance in the Odyssey. Wouldn't that just be a fun time?
He should. Why not?
That would be fun.
Well, that's all I got, Steve. You got anything?
I don't have much, but what I do have is a question for you. And that question is, what you been watching, Chris?
I seen a show, Severance. Did you watch anything else before we dive into that?
No.
All right. Shall we get into that then?
Let's get into it. Let's dive into Severance Season 2, Episode 3. Let's dive in reintegrated Mark's head first.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited. We got some crazy things in this episode. Christopher.
Yes.
We got Dylan meeting his Audi's wife. We got bloody Brianna Tarth with some goats.
Some goats and some other people in goat costumes.
Oh, yeah. So let's go through each character, kind of talk about what they did and our thoughts. And we're going to be doing weekly recaps of this. So if you haven't subscribed and liked already, do that so you don't miss new videos. So let's start off with Mark A. First of all, the ending had me like Norman Osborn. You know, you can't do this to me. Just,
you know how much I sacrifice?
Seriously, though. But going back, I guess he tries to send a message to his innie by burning his retinas
it
with the
seemed
message.
a little extreme. Like, Can you walk me through this? So he's trying to stare into it so that, like, when he closes his eyes, he can see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, like, I don't know if you've ever, like, rubbed your eyes really hard and you see that kind of green or, like...
Yeah.
I think the thought behind it was he's trying to burn that image into his mind because he timed it, like, 2 minutes or so. The idea was he would, like, stare into that light so it'd be, like, burned into his retinas and then go down on the floor and see that message. Not a great plan, honestly, but...
I feel like that's bad. That's got to be bad for the eyes, right?
Yeah. Even Ragabi tells him, he's like, you're probably going to blind yourself with that. And also, it doesn't work because it wipes the slate clean when they go down on the severed floor.
You ever have the thing where you've been playing a lot of Tetris and then you're, like, lying down at night and you just see the blocks falling?
Maybe not Tetris, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah. I guess going back to Mark, he meets up with Ragabi. She's the reintegrator from the last season. She tells him that last time she saw Gemma, she was alive. And so that clicked, and Mark was like, I'll get reintegrated. And so he takes the procedure, and bloody fantastic scene, if you ask me. I loved it.
Oh, yeah.
That was
you remember what's the worst thing you ever done here? Why do your parents hate you? You know, asking all the hard-hitting questions.
Yeah. It's so simple, too. Like, the equipment she uses, it's very crude and rudimentary, and it's like, goes back to that kind of high concept, low budget almost, where you don't need a whole lot of fancy stuff to get people compelled or interested in the show. But, like, seeing all that, it doesn't, they're like wavelengths. Like, it's like not interesting or not high tech, but you're so invested, and then you see the flickering of the innie and Audi. Is so good. It's so good.
It is. And can you remind me? So I'm a little hazy on season 1. So his pal, he retired? The buddy that
so Petey from season 1, he reintegrated, but he didn't
through this FBI, CIA, mafia lady, whatever.
Well, she used to work at Lumen. She's an ex-Lumen employee. She's not. I don't know if she's severed, but she explains in season 1 that she used to work at Lumen, and it's hinted that she used to implant people with the chip. So she's got extensive knowledge of Lumen and what they do. So that's why she's kind of qualified to reintegrate people.
But she did that with Petey, right? But then it wasn't. She didn't do it right, and he just ended up dying from it eventually. Is that what happened?
She said she did it right, but Petey didn't follow like her instructions afterwards. I guess there were some things that you were supposed to do, but he didn't really do.
So she's blaming it on him, huh?
Oh, yeah, that's what any good manager does.
Well, it sounds like she was like, oh, it's better now. I'll do great. You'll be fine here.
Mm-hmm.
And so this reintegrating basically just makes it so he can swap both ways here, or he can just remember what's going on the innie, or what's...
I think it's...
Do we know?
Like all the memories from innie and Audi are merged into one, is how I understand it.
Okay.
So
So when he goes in, it's swapped to the innie, but the innie can remember the Audi.
I don't know if there's any swapping that would go on. I think it's just him now at one person.
Just all, and we'll see what happens.
That's what the wavelengths did, Chris. They lined up.
All right. They weren't lined up, though. Did they ever line up exactly?
I think there's a split second at the very end where it's like
when he's laying on the table.
Yeah. Talking about reintegration, my wife and I talked about how Helena might just be completely reintegrated, because in this episode she was like really weird on both the Audi and the innie, and it seemed like she was kind of like trying to reconcile both personalities. What do you think of that? Do you think she's reintegrated or not?
It definitely feels like the Audi's the innie. And each episode more and more, like this one, it feels forced, and she seems a little too normal compared to the other innies. So that's what I'm feeling, but she could have been reintegrated, but...
I don't know. The thing that I noticed was there's a moment between her and Mark where they're like about to kiss. Yeah. Almost like a grade school kind of moving in closer, but it got super awkward real quick.
Oh, yeah.
And so to me, I was like, I feel like Helly R would have just kissed him, but
Yeah.
Helena is not there.
She's
so it's
just
like,
kind of there.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. I do have a theory.
Mm.
Didn't really think much of it. Just popped up in my mind here. Little Asian girl.
Mm-hmm.
What if that's Mark's kid? His wife's age. She's Asian. I mean, I didn't think much of it, but hey, that's a common thing, you know?
Did they say how long they've been married, or maybe, I don't know.
And maybe they cloned it. Maybe it was a goat and turned human, you know, did the whole evolution cycle. And,
maybe the little Asian girl, Miss Wong, is a young Miss Casey, a young Gemma, even.
Hey, maybe so.
Who's to say?
No, I have no evidence. I just maybe she's got to be someone's
That's what this is for,
kid.
Chris, speculating.
Just throwing stuff at the wall, wishing for the best.
Well, speaking of goats, they go to the goat department, and
Brianna Tarf.
Brianna Tarf's there, a lot of other guys. They got a goat man in a goat suit. For me, I was like, it's a bit silly. This is a little bit,
that episode
I don't know if it worked for me.
It was funny. Like, I laughed a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's definitely a sillier episode. Because, like you said, the awkward kiss. There's a lot of, like, awkward scenes.
I mean, usually I'm in it 100%. When they were doing all that, it kind of took me out a little bit because I was like, I'm getting Lost vibes and not in a good way.
Oh,
you know, like when Jin was like, others, you know. They meet the others. I don't know. It seems very weird. There's a lot of interdepartmental quarrels that might go on because remember, she's like, are you here to kill me? Mm-hmm. And so I was like, I don't know. I hope it works out. I hope it's not just a red herring. Maybe it's just like, hey, remember these goat things that don't have anything to do with anything? I hope it plays out.
They had goats before, right? There were some people were feeding the goats.
Yeah, but
with the bottles, and maybe they, like I said, they raise them as goats, and they somehow turn into humans. And maybe a little Asian girl, what's her name, Miss Toby,
Wong.
Miss Huan,
Wong, yeah,
Wong,
yeah.
Maybe Miss Wong came from a goat. They cloned her. You got to take the goat, or maybe they needed the goat milk. Maybe that's what it is. You got to get the milk.
Chris, I like your thinking because it's weird. It's a weird theory, but weirder things have happened. You know?
I know. Goat, maybe they got to sacrifice a goat to bring Cthulhu back to life, you know, whatever it is here.
Yeah, I guess moving on. Irving, he's kind of tasked. I guess all of MDR is working to find Miss Casey. They give out little paper slips and asking other departments. He goes to O&D, Bert's old stomping grounds, talks to his old coworker from there, and not much happens. He finds out that the elevator that he's been seeing, the mysterious elevator, is a mysterious elevator.
It's real. Exporting or something, right?
So not much develops there. We just know that it's ominous, so we already knew that. Miss Cobell, we start off on her. She's getting out of Dodge. She decides to get out of there, and then she is a couple miles away from town, decides to head back to Lumen. Had a chat with Helena in a pretty tense scene. Angry, they're playing 4D chess with each other, you know what I mean?
She's like, I'm doing this, I want to run the Severed. No deal.
Yeah.
You got to take it all or no effing deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to meet me here.
So she's about to go, talk to the board, and then she sees that security guard. She's like, nah, man. Her story's kind of still up in the air what's going to happen there. I think she might work with Mark on bringing down Lumen, because it seems like she has a grudge against Lumen, or has information on them that could bring them down, but who's to say? We'll see.
Yeah.
And then last one, which I'm really excited to see where this storyline goes, is Dylan. His Audi wife, he actually meets her in the Severed Floor, played by Merritt Weaver from New Girl fame.
I was thinking
Nurse
The
Jackie.
Walking Dead.
Walking Dead, yeah, she's great in a lot of things.
I wouldn't say great.
I think she's great.
I just remember being annoyed by her in The Walking Dead. Mm-hmm. And I'm just going to spoil this because who cares? But they did a full episode on just her character. And I'm like, oh, she's so annoying. And then she just gets shot dead. And then I never saw her again. I was like, thank you.
They needed some filler episodes in that. They needed some filler seasons actually in that show.
They sure did.
But Dylan, he gets to meet his Audi's wife in a pretty awkward but interesting moment. She shows him her kids and everything, and kind of explains to her, Dylan's innie, that Dylan's not he messes up, he's not figured out life yet. And it's kind of sad because you get a sense that the wife might prefer the innie more than her outie.
Yeah. It's like that one movie you told me to watch with the couples and the... You know what I speak?
I know what you speak, yes.
Without spoiling it. But yeah, it could be like, hey, maybe she's going to have the old affair, sneak around, go visit Innie and pull it outie. Yeah. You know what I mean? And
I think, yeah. I think there's some interesting implications there about, love and would it be considered cheating or, like, I don't know. But I think this is a perfect vehicle to talk about weird things like that because...
Yeah, I mean, if he gets her pregnant, it's his kid, you can't. No DNA trail.
Oh, yeah. But all this to say, I think this episode is definitely, I think, the best one so far, if I could say that.
It's the first one that goes back and forth, which is what I've been begging for.
Oh, yeah. I like that. And I'm super excited to see the next episode, how Mark's reintegration, you hope and you beg that nothing bad happens to him. Also, just remember this bit where at the end of the episode, it usually cuts to black and it says Severance or directed by Ben Stiller. But this one was the first one that went to white and said directed by Ben Stiller. Just a little visual cue to say the script has flipped, Christopher. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I'm super excited to see next week. And honestly, I'm kind of frustrated that I have to wait 7 days. But
I know. How could they do that to us?
Yeah, but looking forward to it nonetheless. But Chris, if that's all you've been watching, do you want to dive into the meat and potatoes of this episode?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's dive in. White Eyes first.
Yes.
Companion. Featuring Jack Quaid, Dennis Quaid's little son.
Sure.
Randy Quaid's nephew, as I like to call him.
Yes. Jodie Foster's... Jodie?
Sure.
Is it Jodie's kid?
I believe it. If not, there's
It's
no
not
telling.
Jodie or Meg Ryan's boy.
I
think it's Meg's.
Right, yeah.
I get them mixed.
Oh, easy mistake.
Meg's boy. Maybe. I don't even know. He's probably
we
got
also
like
got
5 wives.
Sophie Thatcher, I believe.
Yeah.
Heretic.
Yellow Jack. Heretic. Something else.
What we're going to do is no spoilers in this section. It's timestamps if you want to skip ahead of that. But we're going to be talking about some basic plot details and then giving our recommendations. Then we'll go into some pros and cons. But Chris, how'd you like it? No spoilers.
I saw this on a Mystery Monday, actually.
Ooh.
So I went in the theater not knowing what I was watching, nor did anyone else. And it was a heck of a time. I quite enjoyed it. If you haven't seen the trailers, try not to watch the trailer. I think it would be a better watch if you go in more blind, personally. I like it. I'd say it's best movie of the year easily for me.
Oh, yeah. Of the 3 we've seen, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've seen 4, actually. I did a rankings here. I don't know if you want to hear me out here. I decided maybe at the end of each month, I'll go through the movies that came out that year that I watched, and I can rank them. That way I easily can track.
Okay.
So my rankings for the year 2025 from the month of January. Number 1, Companion. Number 2, Den of Thieves 2.
Okay.
Number 3, Flight Risk. Number 4, Back in Action.
Sure. I'd agree with you, even though I haven't seen Den of Thieves 2.
Well,
but
just agree with me there. But no, I thought it was real good. It's a shorter... get to the point. It's my type of film.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
If you like the movie Upgrade or kind of like Ex Machina, maybe like a little Barbarian in there, it's like kind of a mixture of these, which I like all 3 quite a bit. They're my type of film. And it's like a little sci-fi, which I'm not really super into sci-fi, but I'm into these. So I liked it quite a bit. I think I might give it like a 6-7.
Ooh, okay.
Standing ovation.
Nice.
Mainly because I gave Den of Thieves 2, I think, a 4. Because I gave something else like a 3.
And I
think I gave Flight Risk like a 2 because I gave that Cameron Diaz one like a 1. So I got to give it like a 7 according to my scale here. So I'm giving it 7. It was good. I told the wife, go see it. She saw it last night. She liked it quite a bit as well. So how about you, Steve? How'd you like it?
Yeah, I liked it a lot. I was fortunate. Again, if you're listening up to this point, best to not do any research. Don't watch anything. No trailers. If you can get away with it, it's better if you don't see anything going in blind. I liked it quite a lot, but I would recommend this. I don't know if you need to go to theaters to see it. It's a good streamer, I'd say. But yeah, I think I'd give it a good stand-in 4 or 5 TBH. So highly recommend, Christopher.
Nice.
But with that being said, let's dive into some spoilers here. Why don't you give us just a little quick plot breakdown? Walk us through the story.
Yeah, so the opening scene, it's Sophie Thatcher. Her name's Iris. And she says you remind me, there's 2 days.
2 days that I was truly happy. One when I met Josh and the other when I killed him.
Yeah, so it starts off with that. And it shows her meeting him at a grocery store, and he flirts with her, and it's super romantic, and they just fall in love instantly.
Mm-hmm.
And then it cuts to her like waking up in a car, and they're driving to spend a weekend with his buds in this woods where this rich Russian guy lives that one of his friends is dating.
Sergey. Mm-hmm.
I like to think he's somehow related to Aaron Taylor Johnson and that Craven universe.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's a heck of a time. And then Iris, she's out going for a stroll here. Sergey pulls up. He tries to get a little frisky with her. And she's like, nope. She kind of pushes him away, and they start fighting, and she ends up self-defense, stabbing him in the neck with a knife that she had in her pocket. And then she comes back in, and she's got blood all over her, and people are like freaking out. Shows Jack Quaid, his name's Josh, he says, Iris shut down, or was it Iris sleep?
Yeah, go to sleep or something, yeah.
Go to sleep. She powers off, and you find out she's a robot.
Mm-hmm.
And basically his whole plan was he jailbreak the robot, because it's kind of like an iRobot situation. They can't harm anyone.
Yeah.
You can control the settings of their voice and what their eye color is, intelligence. But he hacked it, and he bumped up her self-defense to like aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
So she could harm him, and basically his idea was to have the robot kill Sergey, who's super rich. He's got like 12 million in his safe,
which doesn't seem like a whole lot to kill a person over, but
12 mil is.
I don't get out of bed for anything less than 100, man.
All right, fair enough. All right, you're a better man. I mean, I wouldn't do it, allegedly. But,
allegedly.
Then he sets her down, and he's just like, I feel like I owe her an apology because she's madly in love. And they kind of go through, basically the companion robots, they are meant to be companions. Like, they're madly in love with whoever buys it, basically. So she's madly in love with Jack Quaid here, Josh. Basically do anything that he asks, and, she loves him. And he's like, yeah, you're a robot. And she's like, what? They're planning on, basically she would get shut down, but she escapes somehow, and then the buddies find out. It's Josh, the girl that's dating Sergey, her name is Kat.
Yeah.
They're both in on the scheme, but then they had these 2 gay lovers.
Eli and Patrick?
And they're both with them. They didn't know anything. They just like, oh, we just wanted you to be another witness here. But then they are obviously find out. So he's like, all right, we'll split the money 3 ways, but we got to get this robot, Iris. So they're hunting down Iris. Iris is in the woods. She ends up taking Jack's phone, and she sets the intelligence. It was at 40%. She bumps it up to 100. So now she's real smart. They say 100%'s like as smart as an Ivy League. It's not like super.
It's pretty
but
smart.
Pretty good, not bad. And then you find out the gay guy, Patrick or Eli.
I think it's Patrick.
You find out one of the other ones is a robot as well. But they're madly in love. He's like, he proposes to him. I love you. I can't believe I'm saying this. I love a robot. He ends up trying to shoot Iris, the human one, but misses, and she self-defense ends up shooting him. So he dies. The other robot, madly in love, he's pulling a Padme. He's dying of heartbreak. He's just sitting there. Staring, and she's running away, and basically what Josh, quick on his feet, he ends up resetting the robot, and then he powers it back up again, and then he makes that robot fall in love with him, and then he jailbreaks him, turns his aggression up to 11, makes him real violent. Basically has him do his bidding. He ends up killing a couple people here, and there's a showdown, Josh and Iris wins. The robot company people, they go to pick her up at first, and then, because they think she's dead, but she's not actually dead. And then evil robot gay guy, he's going to kill one of the workers, but Iris saves him. So he does a solid, and he basically shuts down her command protocol. And it's like she's a free robot. She's bicentennial man, if you will.
Yes.
And it ends with her driving. And she's
got the money, and
she looks just like a human if you don't look at her like robotic arm. Because it got burned. But I think that's good enough summary, right?
Yeah, that gets pretty much all of it. If you want to jump into some cons, just a personal preference, I've gotten sensitized to violence recently, so I think it was a bit too violent for me, just me personally. Others
Really?
probably, that's just my personal, Other than that, the marketing for the movie is a big con. I really didn't like, because I watched the trailers afterwards and I was like, oh man, if anyone saw this, it's just ruined. Just the whole movie's done. So those two really
the first trailer they had, because I had seen a trailer a few months ago, even like a couple weeks ago, and it's real ambiguous.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, you see her like getting her arm burned, but she's crying. But it's like you feel like, all right, Jack Quaid's a creep.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she's like paralyzed, but like it didn't really lead to her being a robot or anything.
Yeah.
But then the trailer I saw like last week, right before I saw this, is like it has the 2 days, the day I met him, the day I killed him, and it's like, oh, she's a robot, and it like tells the whole thing here, and I'm like, I wish I hadn't seen that. And it was fun because I was in Mystery Monday, packed theater, and like I'm sure half the people had no idea, like you could tell the people that hadn't seen a trailer, because when they do that first like robot reveal, you could hear like gasps.
Mm-hmm.
What? And then,
because when was the first robot reveal? Is it when she's sitting down and he tells her to go to sleep?
Yeah, it's when he's just like, go to sleep, and her eyes go white, and she shuts down, and people were like freaking out.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other was when they find out the other guy's a robot, which I thought was kind of obvious after you figure out she's a robot. But
okay.
I'd say like a quarter of the theater was just like, what? This is crazy. What?
What cons you got?
Honestly, those are kind of my main cons. Yeah, I guess I'm desensitized to violence. I thought it was the right amount, because I'm used to it being too violent, like more violent, where like
a Terrifier?
Yeah,
or is that too much?
Well, it's not like quite that much,
Okay.
but like I'd say this was less than like, this is like a Romulus, maybe even less than that, don't you think?
Yeah, and I guess now that you think of it, I feel like Romulus was different because it's in space, and my mind was like, it's space and there's an alien. So it's like,
yeah, well, I guess
I don't know.
Romulus is more like a body horror.
Yeah.
Which I feel like that is more gross to me.
Mm-hmm.
She stabs the guy in the neck, which is also in the trailer, by the way.
Yeah.
But other than that, like there's not, because like a robot gets shocked to death, but
Mm-hmm. I think I've just been watching too much Bluey.
I guess I mean, it's probably more on me here.
No, yeah.
But,
tell us what you think, listeners.
Yeah, let me know. Another con I had.
Sure.
There's a scene before you find out she's a robot. They're like laying in bed, and she's like trying to talk to Josh.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, go to sleep, Iris.
Mm-hmm.
And like she like smiles, but she doesn't fall asleep, right? Like she's still like awake, isn't she?
I think so, yeah.
But then you later find out whenever he says that, she automatically goes to sleep. So like, why didn't it do anything there?
I don't know. I don't remember that part, honestly.
Because you think they're a happy couple, and then it's like the first time you see him he's being like rude to her.
Yeah.
Not like acting like she's a human.
Mm-hmm.
In my memory, he says go to sleep, but she doesn't like just go to sleep. But throughout the movie, she has to like go on his phone and turn off the voice thing, because if he says the words go to sleep, she automatically shuts down.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I heard it wrong.
I don't know.
I asked my wife, and she said the same thing. So maybe we're both just idiots here. But how about you? You got any other cons?
I don't have cons, but I think going into pros, I love that it was a quick little hour 40, I think it was. Just nice. And the pacing was really good. Didn't really waste any time. Used its time wisely, I'd say, which is very much appreciated. I ain't got all the time in the world. I think the dude from, not the robot, I think Eli, he's from What We Do in the Shadows. I don't know if you've ever seen that show.
No, sir.
He's the shorter, heavy-set man with glasses. He was really funny. I liked him. I think there was some funny, like, I wouldn't say like dark comedy, maybe? Would you classify it as that?
It's the perfect amount of humor where it's not like over the top. It's one of my pros as well, where it's like there's some funny parts. And it's kind of like, you've seen Barbarian, right?
I haven't. I've seen some clips online.
Oh, well, it's kind of similar to that, where it's like, there's some pretty funny parts, you're going to laugh, but it's not like trying to make it a comedy where it takes away from more of the thriller aspect of it, which I thought they did really well.
Yeah, I agree. Jack Quaid, he's been real popular lately in, not Invincible, what's The Boys? He's in The Boys, but he's also in another movie I'm looking forward to, Novocaine. He was in a movie recently, I can't remember the name of, but he's done really good like recently, and he plays a really good, like, creepy, over-controlling, weird jerk almost. Because those who have seen him only as Huey in the Boys, you're like, oh, this guy's kind of a one note, but he got to paint with some different colors in this. I like seeing that.
Yeah. As far as like the pacing goes, I remember sitting in the theater like 30 minutes in, just like thinking like, wow, this is a really good movie. Like it's been a while since I watched a movie in theaters where I'm just like, I haven't looked at my watch once.
Mm-hmm.
I'm into the plot here. I'd say like you're interested from the beginning, but like 20 minutes in, like it's going here. You're moving.
Yeah.
Versus a lot of times you're sitting there for like 50 minutes before like something big happens.
Yeah.
And it's like it goes quick. You're not checking the clock here.
Yeah.
You're not, yawning.
It's all engaging all the way through. Yeah.
It's real good. It was kind of predictable because I seen the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
It still kept you on your toes.
Yeah. I think there's also like this story's not particularly new. Like there's a lot of like Keanu, like you said, there's shades of Ex Machina in there. In fact, I feel like it almost ends the same way as Ex Machina, whereas like the robot kind of wins in the end and like, gets away with it and becomes a full person. So it's like there's elements that are been told before, but I think the way they did it is kind of new and refreshing. And I think my number one pro about this is the potential of a fantastic rug pull with your girl. Because if you just sit down with your girl and be like, hey, I got this movie. It's a romantic comedy I want to watch with you. The first few minutes, you're like, you could get her, right? It's like, oh, this is a fun. And she would never be the wiser. So fellas, listen up. I don't ask for much, but if you got a girl, Valentine's Day, say, I got a fun romantic movie to watch with you. Bloody, do it and report back. Because I think it's a good test to see what your girl would do, but also a test in the relationship to see if you guys will make it.
Yeah, it just makes me more mad that I kind of already had it spoiled to me. I'm like, God, that would have been such a heel turn.
Yeah. But all this to say, I think both of us really enjoyed it. I would say catch it on streaming. Like, I don't think you need to go out and spend your hard-earned money, but definitely watch it, I'd say. Is that all you got, Chris?
That's all I got, Steve.
Where can they find us?
Go find us on YouTube, Instagram, Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, something else, Facebook.
I'm
maybe
begging
Instagram.
We got a bloody email. MistakePopcornPod@gmail.com. If you send us anything, we will read it.
Anything.
Live, on air.
Anything.
No edits.
No edits.
If it's 1,000 pages, the next episode will be 1,000 minutes.
Sure.
Anyway, Chris, thanks for joining us. And happy birthday, buddy. Everybody wish Chris a happy birthday.
You.
Hope you guys have a good week.
Popcorn.
Bye.
Things like stale.
Popcorn.
Popcorn, stale popcorn.
Popcorn. Pop, pop, pop.
This is the
Stale popcorn.
What's this? Popcorn.
Hey, just wanted to follow up. Still waiting on that payment. No rush, just whenever you have time. Hey, it's been a couple days. Just let me know when you can get that payment in. Thanks. Hey, it's Mr. Reeves here. I'm pretty sure you have my Venmo. Just if you can get that to me ASAP as possible, that would be great. Hey, listen. This is like the 4th message I've left you. I did your stupid happy birthday thing. So, can you just pay me? I'm pretty strapped for cash, man. Like, times are tough. And even Shadow the Hedgehog has bills to pay. So just, could you please Venmo me? I know you have my Venmo. Thanks are, actually, no thanks. You'll get your thanks when I get paid. Listen, I need you to get it together, man. Like, seriously, this is so unprofessional. Seriously unprofessional. You reached out to me? Do you even understand that? Like, I acted with Willem Dafoe. So, pay me, man. Do the right thing. 2 words, 2 syllables, 8 letters. John Wick. I will gun fu your ass so hard. Your ass is grass, man. You are cruising for a bruising, and I am your cruise captain, and my name is Mr. Bruisin'. Hey, man, yeah, I'm here. I'm at the address you sent me. I said in person was fine, but like, this place is sketchy as hell. Even for me, Keanu Reeves. Wait, I think I see you. Yep. Dude, are you being 100% right now? Are you being 100% serious? Right now. Oh, I'm sitting in my car. I'm 40 miles outside of town looking at the money you just gave me. Why on God's green earth is there a picture of Mr. Krabs on here? Where the hell did you even get this? Like, honestly, man, you're done. Done. Good morning. Did you sleep well? I'm betting you found that special package in your car. Gotcha! I got you, you stupid slut. Where I'm from, we call that a good old Chicago sunroof. That's what you get for breaking my balls. Good luck getting that out. Don't ever mess with me again, man.